Hey guys, it's me, Gapester. Today we're gonna be talking about the first time I got an ISS. If you don't know what ISS means, it's in school suspension, and you pretty much have to sit in a room all day. Like it's like a room where all the bad kids go, not the or yeah bad kids and also people that got in trouble for something. But anyways, this happened around November and December, like 1 to 2 months. Like November I did the action, in December I served it. Now it's kind of understanding of why and how I got an ISIS, but here we go. Let's start this. So I used to have this class called Woodshop, which I had a teacher, which we'll call him Mr. Brick. He was a nice teacher that has different personalities. It's like, if you stay on his good side, you're fine. Get on his bad side, you're done. But on this day, I got on his bad side. So what happened was, I got in a so-called fight. It wasn't much of a real fight. It was play fight, but I didn't take it as fighting though. Okay, I'll explain. So me and this kid, we'll call him Eric. Eric is one of these kids that doesn't have a much of a straight mind and has autism or something. And before you say anything, no, I'm not making fun of autistic people because I don't know. I may have a form of autism or something. I don't know. But I'm just ready to get a bunch of comments making fun of autism. Like, haha, he has autism. Fuck autistic people. Yeah, I'm ready to get those comments. I'll just report it or something. So yeah. Anyways, these kids were like the loudest two kids ever. Like I know I said one, but there was another kid also, but he's not much in the story. But they're pretty much the two fireworks of class. Every day is the 4th of July, which happy late 4th of July, by the way. So one day he necks me on the back of my neck, and if you don't know what a neck is, it's when someone smacks you in the back of the neck. Not hard, but maybe hard, but as a joke. So I'm like, okay. I neck him back, and people start saying, "Oh my god, a fight! Let's get our phones and record it." And then we kept going at it. I go to the other side of the room, and this kid was fucking crazy. He grabbed a piece of wood, broke it, and threw it at me, and this wood was flat, but it was still sharp. I could have gotten hurt from that shit. So I got angry and threw it back at him harder. Then he makes a T-pose, and we start going at it again with people recording it. And then Mr. Wood comes in, grabs us both by the shirt, and says to us, "You sit your ass down, and you sit your ass down." And I was like, the last few minutes of class. And then the next day came around, and Eric's seat was moved to the front of the class, which I was happy because I could finally get some peace and quiet because those two kids, I can never get any rest in that room with those two. But anyways, another day later, an AP says, "Gabe, I need to talk to you soon." And this is the same one that confronted me in the last video, which I didn't give him a fake name, but his new name for here on out future stories, his name's going to be Mr. Miller. And then 1 week later, I was in my second hour, which was science. We get a knock on the door, and it was a different AP, which we'll call Mr. Barry. So Mr. Barry says, "I need to see Gabe." So I grab my stuff and walk from the student services to Mr. Miller's office. As soon as I get it, I see Eric in the other chair, Mr. Miller, talking to him. And then he says, "Hey Gabe, glad you could join us today." I said, "No problem, sir. I know what this is about. I'm ready for what's about to happen." And he tells me to sit down and says, "We'll get to that later. Right now, I'd like to hear both your sides of the story of what happened in Woodshop last week." And I say my part of the story, and I could tell Eric was scared because he's one of those innocent kids that would just fess up if he did something wrong. So he says his side, which were pretty much the same thing as mine. And then Mr. Miller just sits there for a couple minutes humming, like, what am I going to do with you guys? And then I just broke the silence by saying, "I guess I could take lunch attention?" And then he makes a joke, but at the same time serious, saying, "This isn't choose your punishment show where you get to choose your punishments." While he was looking at his computer with me and Eric's profiles there, he says, "Okay, since you're the first time getting referrals, I'm putting both of you in ISS for 1 day." And he calls both of our parents, and I was like, "Aw, shit, they were gonna find out." And then he tells me to step out of the room for a minute. And he says, before I step out of the room, he says, "If you guys ever get into trouble like this again, I'm gonna suspend both of you for about a few days." And then we both say, "Yes, Mr. Brick, we're sorry." So Eric goes first, which I was told to step outside once again. So I was like, okay, I can't lie about a number, but I could hide for a little bit. So it's my turn. I give her my mom's number, which at the time she had pretty much a shitty phone that she didn't answer. So she tried. If she tried to call it, it won't work. So don't even try to call her. But anyways, he tries to call it, and he says, "Okay, she didn't answer. I'm gonna try again soon." And today, Eric will serve his time in ISS, and you will serve it tomorrow all day. I was like, what the fuck? Which didn't seem fair because here's the thing. Eric started the fight, and you only have to serve 5.5 periods because we were pretty much entering third hour at the time. And tomorrow, I had to go first thing in the morning with the bell rings, which I didn't want to cause more problems, so I said, okay. And I went to class. Fast forward the next day, I told a couple friends of mine, they left and me like, you're such a full shit. Or whatever the fuck it is. Like, good luck being in solitary confinement for a day, which I played off saying, haha, yeah, very funny. It was a stupid joke. When I went to the ISS room, when the AP wasn't there, I was confused, which I was like, okay. And then later, the AP comes in, and he's expecting me already. He's like, oh, so you're Gabe, huh? Yeah. And here's the thing, what's gonna call him, Mr. Beth. So Mr. Beth, he's a pretty cool guy. He knows about my rap songs and heard me sing before, so you're amazing, even though I'm not saying your real name. But anyways, he told me to sign in, showed where I had to sit at, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Always for the trouble part, because it was so boring in that room. You can't put your head down, you can't go on your phone, all you can do is work. If you don't have any work, you have to write an essay, which is easy to escape because all you have to do is just pull out some old work or paper and just pretend you're working on it. Because he doesn't check on you. He just sits at the computer and looks at me every once in a while. Because I was the only kid in there, which someone comes in, and he's a friend of mine, Dane, another friend of mine, which we'll just call him Ken. So Ken is the second kid to be there. And another kid comes in, which I don't know him. I didn't get his name. And a fourth kid comes in. And then for this kid, I'm like decent friends with him, but we don't really talk much. So I guess we'll just call him Charlie, yeah. So Charlie didn't want to be there, and he starts misbehaving, which was the only entertainment for me. And then Mr. Beff gets fed up and calls Mr. Miller because, you know, he was like, hey, I want to see Mr. Miller. I want to see him now. So Mr. Miller comes in, takes him away. Later, Ken's leave because he was done with ISS time. So it was time to go to lunch. So what they do is they take the ISS kids and mix them together with the lunch detention kids. So I pretty much had lunch detention and ISS for about a day. But yeah, it was pretty boring there. But like, if you behave good in that room, you get to leave like 10 or 15 minutes early. So that was pretty nice. So I went to my friends. They were shocked to see me say, so Jailboy, how was ISS so far? I said, boring as fuck. It's like prison. So I sat down, chilled there, wait for the bell to ring, then I went back to ISS. I stayed there for 2 more periods. And then during 7th hour, Mr. Bev had something to do. So he took us outside and trusted us and said, if I catch you guys leaving the courtyard, you'll serve another day of ISS. Which I agreed and sat down. Got on my phone, which I wasn't on for hours, and the bell rang. I got home. Everything was chill. You may think the story ends here. Nope, it doesn't. A week later, my parents got an email saying that I was in ISS for a day. And then I get a text message saying, hi, Gabe. This is your father. I want to know if your suspension in your classes. I got a note. It's from Monday to Friday. I said Inga because that's literally what he said. But I know he meant I got. I'm not upset if you tell me what happened. I was like, aw, shit. So I get home and I told him what happened. Which he was a little mad that I hid it from me. He let me off the hook. But if I lie again, I'll be grounded. Which I haven't been grounded since like elementary school. Which I have a really bad line experience, and you may think it ends here. Nope. The line saga continues. At least for now. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, turn on the bell notifications, and get ready for the next KT, so-called KT video soon. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Yeehaw! Thank you.